For more on the Israel-Hamas deal, Edmund Ghareeb joins us from here, from Washington, D.C. He's a co-editor of Enemy of the Sun, Poetry of Palestinian Resistance, as well as a senior scholar at the Washington Institute for Peace and Development. Edmund, great having you. And first up, Hamas says it'll release all Israeli hostages under Trump's 20-point plan, but only if Israel meets its demands first. Are we witnessing a hostage standoff?
First of all, yes, that's what Hamas has said. It said that they will release the hostages, but only under specific conditions tied to the U.S. 20-point proposal. They have described them as field conditions. That means that there's going to be really a release according to the exchange formula that was agreed upon in the plan. This would mean staged reciprocal swaps and timelines to release the Palestinian prisoners under Israeli rule. So in a sense, also it's linked to the Israeli withdrawal, as it has agreed to in the plan. Or are we going to have frozen battle lines? So that these are the points that Hamas is making when it comes to this issue.
But at the same time, President Trump was clear that he wanted the hostages released immediately. So if they're going to place a series of steps prior to that, they're going to be off the peace plan, right?
Yes, the president has said that. He also said that we are very close to having a peace, and not only in Gaza, but in the whole region in the Middle East. And that's a significant development in many ways. And Hamas expressed thanks to it, as did many of the Arab countries. He also expressed thanks to the Arab countries which were involved, although interestingly enough, he didn't mention Prime Minister Netanyahu or the Israeli government. He thanked Qatar, he thanked Jordan, he thanked Saudi Arabia and Turkey. But I think what we are seeing now is that there is really, at least progress. It appears that there is agreement on both sides, but there's no doubt that there are still complications. There are issues that are difficult to deal with, and the question is of what kind of withdrawal. There's a question of Hamas has said that it agreed not to rule Gaza anymore in the future, and that's a significant development. But there are some other issues which raise questions.
Yes, about this I want to ask you a question, because the plans, the U.S. plan asks Hamas to hand over Gaza's administration to technocrats or others. Do you think this will actually happen, or it'll be just a rebranding?
That's a very good question. But basically, it's going to be first, I think Hamas would no longer be ruling in Gaza. For the time being, this would be the new agreement. There will be first a group of technocrats, Palestinians mainly, and probably they are going to be approved and agreed upon by the various parties which played a role in the negotiations, especially probably, I'm sure the Israelis will have a voice, but I think here Qatar and Egypt will also play a role, and I think this is part of the negotiation that's going on now, with Dermer going to Egypt to discuss some of these issues with, and the United States will play a role. And then you have the committee which will oversee this government, this technocratic government, and this will be led by Blair, and of course the chairman of it is going to be President Trump.
And Edmund, there's a sticking point here, because it's necessary that Hamas commits to disarmament, right? And if it doesn't, the deal would be dead on arrival, right?
That's one of the dangers, absolutely. I think that's a very good point, that we could see a collapse of the negotiations. But I think also at the same time, things are changing. We have seen changes in world public opinion. We've seen changes in American public opinion. Today, for example, the Washington Post even said, talked about the Pew poll, which said that 4 out of 10 of the American Jewish community consider Israel is committed genocide, while about 61% say that Israel has basically committed war crimes. At the same time, Hamas also has faced a lot of criticism from Israel as well. So basically, there are still issues that have to be dealt with by both sides. And I think that we're seeing also a change in American public opinion. We're seeing even some of the MAGA people who are raising questions about what's going on. And so I think it's still a difficult phase that we are in right now. But I think there's also a lot of pressure to try to bring an end to this conflict, but not only bringing peace to Gaza, but as President Trump said today, he wants to bring peace to the Middle East. If he can do that, I think that would be a major development and a major event that I think most of the peoples of this world want to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Edmund Ghareeb, thank you so much for your time and insights.